So this is day one of me trying to make a change in my life, and I'm gonna try to do this every single day of this year because I believe that in 2025 I need to do something extraordinary, and I also want to be accountable for this. Otherwise, it will just go by like 2024, like 2023, with nothing really happening. I want to change, and if I do it this way, then I feel some sort of accountability. And if I do it for 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, I know that I will gain quite a lot of momentum to stick to it. And so this is basically a vlog type video of me trying to become a better person, and hopefully this will only be the start, because I do not want to quit. I hate quitting, but now that I see many things in my life, I quit quite a bit, and I don't want to be that guy anymore. And I know that I cannot just change drastically, that I have to change slowly, and that is why there are some habits that I want to create in myself. This is basically my journey, and I wanted to start on the 1st of Feb, but this idea just came to me day before yesterday, and it's okay. I mean, 1st of Jan, sorry, it came to me 1st of Jan. No, if it would be better if it came before the 1st of Jan, then I would have started. But this idea just sprung up to me like day before yesterday, and I was like, wow, I could really do this. What I'm planning on doing is vlogging or recording myself, just maybe sitting down or standing up talking to the camera about my life, about things I learned, things I've struggled with, I guess, how I'm improving myself, maybe like the habits or the books that I'm reading. I mean, I have a lot of books to cover, and so if you know, basically my life, is it improving, is it not? And yeah, I just want to have some sort of accountability, and nothing private will be revealed, but certain lessons that I have, maybe that will be. So some of the habits that I do want to create, I just wrote them on the iPhone, is perhaps the most important one is plan for the day tomorrow. When I work or when I have uni, it always feels that I just go to uni or work just like that. I wake up, I ruffle up something, and then I leave for work. Come back, and I'm so exhausted that I don't do anything else, just laze around. Or I would consider that I have an addiction to my phone, which I want to definitely cut out. Maybe like a TikTok or Reels addiction, because I know that I scroll too much for my liking, and sometimes it's fun, but the other times I feel like I just waste too much time on it. So if I would, before going to sleep, plan for the day tomorrow, I would have more clarity in my mind, such that when the day comes tomorrow, my day will go about smoothly and I can get more stuff done. And there's also a guy on YouTube who talked about this, which is Hamza, and he said that if you do this, not only do you gain more clarity, your whole day goes smoother, but you also feel like you have more time in the day, and obviously you get more things done. And you also use something he said, like about brain points, and if I would use less brain points tomorrow, I can like prioritize a lot of brain points to like an important task that I have to do tomorrow. And I think that will be very beneficial, because many of the times when I come back from work or from I just wake up, I'm already tired, I'm so exhausted. My body is also exhausted, but I feel like my brain is also exhausted. Like I don't want to do anything, but that's partially maybe because I also don't have an aim to do anything, so I just laze around instead of actually doing something. I feel like I could do much more than I'm thinking of right now. So that's one of the habits that I want to implement. And yeah, I also wanted to be some sort of like a YouTuber, but I was never sure about it. I always did like recording myself, speaking to the camera, just helping people with certain stuff. But I always felt that I was being an imposter, and I think it's time for a change. I think you already know this because I said this like 1,000 times. But yeah, so the next habit would be to write 3 pages in the morning. This was suggested by a guy on YouTube. What's his name? God, how did I forget? Oh crap. It's the CEO of Testosterone, guys. Jack? Yeah, I think Jack Hopkins. Yeah, that's his name. And he said to write 3 pages in the morning. So he said for those of you like struggling with what to create, what content to create, he had a brilliant idea, which is to write stuff in the morning. And I feel that when you just wake up after you finish your normal duties, and then you come and then you're just like, what do I do now? That's when your brain is like the strongest, I feel, because it's awake. It just has finished sleeping, just rested. Your whole body is rested, and then you wake up and you're like, okay, I can do something, right? And if you have a nice coffee, then you'll feel awake as well, and then you can just maybe write down 3 pages. And I actually did that 2 days back. I didn't write 3 pages, but I did write quite a bit. And then the next day, which is day before yesterday, I got the idea of this kind of thing, which is very strange because I never ever considered of it. And now that the idea's finally sprung to me, I think it's a brilliant way of starting something without feeling this immense pressure, or I must share something knowledgeable, valuable. And when I do start sharing the knowledge, I don't feel like an imposter because I'm just talking about stuff that people have told me to do, and I'm trying to follow it, and I'm making videos about it. I'm not already there, but I do want to be there. So like the journey from here itself to being there, and the difference in how I look, how I feel, how I talk, how I move, basically, because there's not much moving. If you exclude work and uni and gym, there's not much moving. Another thing is meditation. So I tried meditation long time back, maybe a year plus back. And when I always did meditation, maybe there was a week that I was very consistent with it, I always felt not enlightened, but I felt like before I wanted to do something like a bad habit, and the time when I actually did it. So if I want to do a bad habit and the time when I did it, like normally, let's say if I want to eat a cookie, right? I think, okay, I want to eat this cookie, and the cookie is right in front of me, right? The time for me it takes like for me to go and reach the cookie and then put it in my mouth, and by the time I finish it, right, I'll be like, oh shit, why did I eat the cookie? I shouldn't have eaten the cookie, right? I'm gonna die, blah 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 blah, right? But with meditation, it's like you get that extra seconds where your other brain kicks in and says that, hold on, you're on a diet, you shouldn't do this. And then you have more of a will to resist it. maybe your willpower is increased, maybe you're not, but I know I felt that, and I was like, wow, that is something, because I was more productive. But it could also be that I saw myself more as a different version of myself, someone with more strength, because I always thought like meditation is powerful because you get to sit in silence, and because in this world everyone is listening to something or the other, some music, some podcast, always like engaged, always a dopamine, right? And if you just learn to tone it down, tune it completely down, then you can finally learn to listen to what your mind is saying. And that meditation, I think, will be extremely beneficial for me. And another thing that I used to do before that I stopped again, unfortunately, was called gratitude journaling, where every night I would just sit down for like 10 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes 40 minutes, right? But I'll keep this short, which is just writing down things that I'm grateful for, maybe in a story format, or just random things in my day. So every day I would do it. And what I observed with this was that I was way happier, way happier. Like I would be smiling all the time, very jolly person. And yeah, and then school came in and I just stopped, right? But I think I can learn to do this more. There's also reading before bed. So I've noticed that when I read before bed, especially, like I naturally fall asleep because I get like bored of the book I'm reading, or like my eyes just like tired out because I'm doing that, like the reading thing, and then I keep reading, and I fall asleep. That seems to me as very beneficial, because when I sleep, I feel more rested when I wake up next morning. Whereas if I check my phone, like waiting for someone to reply or send a reel or something like that, something stupid, right? Then it gets me into like an emotional state. Or if I'm reading a news article, or if I'm reading a very emotionally stimulating book, which will like kind of get me like, whoa, why is he saying that? Why is she saying that? Or yeah, any sort of story that I'm reading, I wouldn't like get proper sleep, because I think I'm in this like awake state, like agitated, like hormones are kicked in, and then so it's better if I read a book and I peacefully sleep after that. So those are basically the habits that I want to do. What have I been doing as of now? Reading before bed, that's the only habit that I've been doing. Planning for the day tomorrow, I only plan today itself, but I started from right now. That means I didn't do that yesterday night, I just started it today. And today I already set another alarm at 10:30 to plan tomorrow's day. And tomorrow I'm going to work, so I have to schedule my day around my work, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Now, there are certain things that I want to be known for, and one is discipline. Do I say I'm a disciplined person? This is tough, because in some things I'm disciplined, but in other things I'm not. But it's also because some things I care more than others, and that's why I'm disciplined in those areas. But in other things, I really am not. Hardworking. I could say I am hardworking, but I can definitely be a lot more hardworking than I know that I am. I see the potential in myself to work a lot more, but I think I just quit or throw the bag in too early. And the last, perhaps the most important one, which I saved for last, is I want to be a person who keeps his word. I think this is perhaps the most scary thing for me, because I have to keep my word. And if my word should be like iron, because if I say I'm going to get something done to myself, then I know it's going to be done. If my word is iron. If it was not, there would be problems. But the thing is, I think it'll also impact on like the others. Let's say if I say to a person, I'll meet you before I go. I'll meet you at this time, you know. We'll do something. We will go this place or something, right? I do not say like 2 days before. I don't be like, oh, sorry, I can't do it, or I just come extremely late, or you know, I don't follow through with what I said, and that is one of my problems that I have, and I'm happy that I'm aware of it, but I cannot be ignorant about it. I have to find some sort of solution to solve this, and I think if I organize myself better and I plan better, I'll just be able to follow through with it. And yeah, that is basically it. I want to be a man of my word. I don't know if that sounds cringy, but to me, it sounds like a guy who can be trusted. And I want to be trusted not only for the fact that other people trust me, but also for the fact that I trust my own self. That means if I believe I can do it, I know that in the later future it will happen. It is bound to happen. I can daydream how much I want, but ultimately I want to be this type of guy. Something that someone can rely on. I can be the someone that someone can rely on. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so that's basically it. Let the journey begin.